This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. Thank you very much for taking the time to join me today here on this Friday evening, the 17th of July 2026. I hope you have all had a fantastic week and you are doing well. This following video is going to be on my YouTube channel. It's actually Classic Week this week. It's Irish Oaks weekend this weekend at the Curragh. So what better time is there ahead of the race than to take a look at a horse that is trained and based in Ireland. But before we get on to the Classic Watch 26 stuff, you know by now I always like to mention my own personal Patreon channel in the YouTube videos. And you're probably asking, why do I do that? It's because I think there is something there for you over on Patreon that you could find very useful. Newman Racing, the resource is called over on Patreon. It's where you can find pretty much all of my National Hunt racing. Now I've decided that there will be no National Hunt racing on the YouTube channel through a website. I can move all the National Hunt racing over to Patreon, and that is what I've done. It's also the place where you will find various resources that I have uploaded over to Patreon over the years as well. Pedigree notes, that sort of thing. Maybe a list of horses on all the websites with dam line numbers, that sort of thing. Just useful things that I think you might need. But basically, there's also an option there if you like to subscribe your content to support, your content creators moving forward. Then there is also an option for you to be able to do that as well over on Newman Racing at Patreon. I think there is merit as a free resource, though, definitely. If you are looking to just use the platform as a free resource, I think there is plenty there for you as well. So why not head over to Newman Racing over on Patreon? You never know, it might be for you. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention it's also the place that I do my end of year reviews as well. At the end of every year, horses that have fallen short leave the process. That's the plan anyway, to make way for new horses into the process. There's actually one of them to be due soon, actually. We're coming to the end of the Southern Hemisphere flat season over in Australia and New Zealand and South Africa. So those horses need to be looked at, and Patreon is the site where people will be able to see those videos as well. Right, that's got all the Patreon stuff out the way. Now let's get over to the Classic Watch stuff. ClassicWatch26.great/site.net is where people will be able to find this year's edition of Classic Watch. The site coming together quite well now. We're nearly halfway through. Well, we are just over halfway through the year of 2026, and the site currently has 10 theatres. I don't think there will be any more at this stage now on Classic Watch 26. The Roll of Honour is coming together nicely. Plenty of 2-year-old races taken out by the site so far. The rest really is a work in progress. Obviously, the season hasn't finished, so there will be plenty of others, hopefully, as the season progresses, making their way onto the site, as well as in the all-aged race section, which is currently just one race in South Africa, a listed handicap. So classicwatch26.great/site.net if you want to look at this year's Classic Watch horses. And one of them might be this horse here that's entered in the Irish Oaks this coming week. Rebel Moon is the name of the horse, a 3-year-old filly, trained by Joseph Patrick O'Brien and owned by Al Shirar Racing Limited. Rebel Moon is sired by Lope de Vega out of a dam called Purely Princess, who herself was sired by legendary Coolmore stallion Galileo. The horse was bred by Haras Detraham and Sir Peter Vella before being bought by Al Shirar Racing. You will see there, if people take a look at the entries, you will see that the horse is entered in the Irish Oaks tomorrow at 4:35 at the Curragh, where the horse is due to be ridden by Mikey Sheridan. Let's take a look at further entries for the horse. You will see that the horse is entered in just the 2 races at the moment. The Juddmonte Irish Oaks tomorrow, and on the 20th of August 2026, the Yorkshire Oaks, which is a race for 3-year-olds and older horses. So no St Ledger entries at the moment for this horse, Rebel Moon. The horse has done very little wrong. If people take a look at the form, they will see that the horse is currently unbeaten. 2 runs and 2 wins for a total prize money of £47,120 UK at the moment. The horse was not seen as a 2-year-old. The horse did not make its debut until its 3-year-old campaign, where the horse came out on the 9th of April 2026 in a maiden at Gowan Park over 1 mile, 1.5 furlongs. And the horse managed to win, first time of asking, when ridden by tomorrow's jockey, Mikey Sheridan, beating Sounds Great by 1.5 lengths to get off the mark at the first time of asking. That's pretty much all they can do, really, isn't it, at that stage? The horse then had a month or 2 off and returned on the 24th of June 2026 at Naas to contest the race sponsored by his owners, actually, the Al Shirar Farms Jana Rose Stakes, a Group 3 race for fillies for 3-year-olds. The horse was up by a furlong to 1 mile, 2.5 furlongs, and encountered good ground for the first time in her career after racing on soft on debut. And she managed to take her unbeaten record to 2 races and 2 victories by taking out the race, defeating Caught You Sleeping by a neck. This time ridden by the number 1 stable jockey for Joseph O'Brien, Dylan Brown Monagle. You'll see there the horse improved nicely, improved by 22 racing post rating figures from first run to second, 84 on the first start, and the horse managed to run to a racing post rating of 106 when winning the Jana Rose Stakes on only her second start. So this is a very interesting horse, but we have had horses run to around 117, 118 in winning the UK Oaks. So it's fair to say that this horse has got a little bit of improvement to find, or quite a lot of improvement to find. But I think the horse is definitely heading in the right direction. You know, what we're going to do now in the video is we're going to take a look at the pedigree of the horse. This video, not as long as some of my videos, because this is a line that we've actually looked at before. So in this video, we're only going to take a look at the first 2 dams of the horse. We're going to try and pick up any decent horses that we find along the way. Then I will show you the horse that we looked at in the video. I'll be able to add that video as a card to enable the pedigree analysis on this horse to be a little bit shorter than what they are sometimes. And then we will watch Rebel Moon win 2 races. We'll watch her win her maiden at Gowan Park on the 9th of April. And then we'll watch her come back and win the Group 3 Jana Rose Stakes at Naas in June 2026. So let's get cracking, shall we? People take a look at the horse via the Pedigree Online Thoroughbred database. They will see that this horse is up to date. Rebel Moon, 2 starts, 2 wins, €54,188 in her racing career. And you will see that the Group 3 Jana Rose Stakes has been entered on the site. And that was updated the date she won. Very interesting horse this. People will see, for the purpose of this video, that Rebel Moon is dam line 8F. That is the dam line we are concerned with in this video. So we might as well get cracking, really. We've got to take a look at a few horses here before we even get to the dam. Alzire is the first horse we're going to take a look at. A mare born in 2016, sired by Shamadal, out of Purely Priceless. So this horse is a half-sister to our horse. Purely Priceless is the dam of our horse. Alzire raced 11 times in her career, 5 wins and a third. 6 out of 11 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of €95,300 in her race career. Alzire managed to win at 3. The horse managed to win actually 2 listed races. The horse won the listed Prix-Coronation in France in 2019. And the horse also won the Prix de Harras de la Haye Nueve Labrevido in 2020 H4. And she was also placed in the Prix de la Cochère, the race in France as well, trained by Jean-Claude Rouget, in her career. The horse was bred by Harras Detraham and Pencaro Stud and owned by Harras Voltaire in her racing career. Pemba Bay was born in 2021, sired by Blue Point, out of Purely Priceless. So this horse is another one out of the same dam as our horse, another half sister. Pemba Bay, only a 5-year-old at the moment. She has raced 12 times in her career, 2 wins, a second and 2 thirds. 5 out of 12 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of €54,500 in her career so far. Another one racing in France. Pemba Bay at 3 managed to win the listed Prix La Sorellina in France in 2024. The horse was trained by Nicolas Laroche in France, bred by Harras Detraham and Pencaro Stud Limited. The horse was owned by Harras Detraham in her racing career. Tasman Bay, a colt born in 2018, sired by Le Havre out of Purely Priceless. So yeah, this is another one out of the same dam as ours, another half brother this time. Tasman Bay raced 7 times in his career, 1 win, 2 seconds and 3 thirds. 6 out of 7 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of £98,890 UK pounds racing in Great Britain and France. Odd piece of pattern form for Tasman Bay as well at 3. He had a pretty good career, trained by Sir Mark Todd in Britain. At 3, the horse was was placed in 2 Group 2 races. Horse was placed in the Group 2 King Edward VII Stakes and the Prix Guillaume d'Ornano in France in 2021. The horse was also placed in the Group 3 Thoroughbred Stakes at Glorious Goodwood and the listed Fairway Stakes, a race held at Newmarket. Dual Group 2, Group 3 and listed placed horse at 3. Tasman Bay was bred by SARL de Chambord, Harras Detraham and Pencaro Stud Limited and owned by Sir Peter Vella. The horse raced in Great Britain and France and was an all-weather winner up to 8 furlongs, but was placed in 4 pattern races, quite highly tried in his career, wasn't he? Tasman Bay, not a bad animal, it's fair to say. Palmyre was a mare born in 2015, sired by Dan Silly, out of Purely Priceless. So this horse, our dam, has already bred 4 pattern quality horses, as well as ours. Palmyre raced 14 times in her career, 2 wins, a second and 2 thirds. 5 out of 14 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of €71,100 in her race career. Again, odd pieces of black type form for Palmyre. At 3 in 2018, she was placed in 2 French listed races. She was second in the Prix Charles Lafite and third in the Grand Prix de Clairefontaine. Dual listed placed horse owned by Sir Peter Vella and Harras Detraham and bred by Harras Detraham as well. Offspring in the ground, a 2021 filly by Kingman and a 2022 colt by Wootton Bassett, hopefully. She has a very good breeding career. There's a couple of nice mares out of our mare, it's fair to say. But yeah, we've had some interesting horses that are related to our horse. Rebel Moon, though, has already won a Group 3 race, don't forget, so it's arguable that even at this stage, she is already the best. That's the highest grade that any of the 4 we've looked at have won at. Let's take a look at the dam now. Purely Priceless, the name of the dam. A mare born in the year 2010, sired by Galileo, out of a mare called Peeping Fawn, who was born in the year 2004 and sired by Dane Hill. Purely Priceless had an interesting career on the track. 5 starts, 2 wins, 2 seconds and a third. In her first 5 starts, she was not out of the first 3, and she managed to earn €30,800 racing in her career in France. You will see there's no pattern race form at the moment. Another one trained by Jean-Christophe Rouget or Jean-Claude Rouget in France. The horse was a multiple black type producer, bred by Peeping Fawn Syndicate and owned by Harras Detraham in her career. But yeah, disappointingly, no black type for Purely Priceless. Did find a couple of relatives between the first and the second dam. September, a mare born in 2015, sired by Deep Impact, out of Peeping Fawn. So this mare would be a half sister to the dam of our horse, Purely Priceless. September raced 7 times in her career, 2 wins, a second and 2 thirds. 5 out of 7 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of £280,620 UK pounds in her career. Not a bad horse, September, it's fair to say. Royal Ascot winner in 2017, winning the listed Chesham Stakes at Royal Ascot. The same year, she was third in three Group 1 races. In three Group 1 races. She was second in the Fillies Mile at Newmarket, and she was also placed third in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf Stakes and the Moyglaire Stud Stakes held in Ireland. She was sold in full to justify to Poonawalla Stud out in India, who actually owned and bred another horse that we looked at yesterday from the same yard. Good horse, September, triple Group 1 placed, Royal Ascot listed winner. The horse was bred by Orpendale and Chelston, owned in her racing career by Coolmore and then Poonawalla Astonished Stud out in India. Yeah, pretty good horse, it's fair to say. September. Willow is another one we can look at. Willow, a mare born in 2018, sired by American Pharaoh out of Peeping Fawn. So again, another half-sister to the dam of our horse. Willow raced 10 times in her career, 2 wins and 2/3, 4 out of 10 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of £55,895 UK pounds in her career. Interesting career Willow had, it's fair to say. She managed to win the listed Nace Oaks trial of 2021, and she was also placed third in the Group 3 Blue Wind Stakes, a race held at Nace. Group 3 in place listed winner, the horse bred by Coolmore and owned by Michael Tabor, Derek Smith and John Magnier. The horse, very interesting. Group 3 place listed winner again. Another nice mare on this line, Willow. Sadly, though, nothing coming through the pipes as of yet. Sir John Hawkins is another horse we can take a look at. A horse born in the year 2011, sired by Henry the Navigator out of Peeping Fawn. So again, we had 4 pattern race foals out of the first dam. The second dam, Peeping Fawn, she has bred 3 pattern race horses. Sir John Hawkins raced 5 times in his first 5 starts, 1 win and 2/3, 3 out of 5 starts in the first 3 races of his career, for earnings of €31,407 in his career. Another one that won quite well at Royal Ascot. The horse was placed third in the Group 2 Coventry Stakes of 2013. And the horse was also placed third in the Group 3 Tyros Stakes the same year, H2. Group 2 and Group 3 placed horse, the horse bred by Orpendale and Chelston and owned by Michael Tabor, Derek Smith and Mrs. John Magnier. Half brother, as we know, for the horse we've looked at, September, raced in Ireland, the UK and the UAE. Dual group placed horse, though, again, very good horses we're looking at here, really. Pattern quality horses. We've looked at 7 and we're only at the first 2 dams, and that's not including our horse. Let's take a look at the second dam of our horse now, shall we? Peeping Fawn, a mare born in the year 2004, sired by Dane Hill out of a mare called Mary Insky, who was born in 1999 and sired by Sadler's Wells. Peeping Fawn raced 10 times in her career, 5 wins, 2 seconds and 3/3. 9 is that 10 out of 10 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of £1,097,744 UK pounds, is that, yes, in her career. Very good second mare of our horse. Peeping Fawn was a classic winner, winning the Irish Oaks of 2007 among an illustrious career. She also won the Group 1 Prissy Polly Stakes, the Group 1 Nassau Stakes and the Group 1 Yorkshire Oaks. Second in the UK Oaks at Epsom, third in the Irish 1,000 guineas at the Coa, placed in 2 classics, winner of 1. She is the champion 3-year-old filly in Great Britain and Ireland and the co-champion European 3-year-old filly. Broodmare, as we know, the dam of September, Group 1 place filly. She was bred by Barnet Enterprises and owned by Coolmore Island. Fantastic horse, Peeping Fawn. The first dam of our horse might have fallen short on the track, but it's safe to say the second dam of our horse, Peeping Fawn, certainly did not. We can stop there pretty much when it comes to the pedigree analysis, thanks to this horse here. Classic Watch 26 Possible Green Spirit. A filly born in the year 2023, sired by Kingman, out of a mare called Sapphire Pendant, who was born in the year 2008 and sired by Daniel Dancer. People will see that Blush with Pride, born in 1979 and sired by Sadler's Wells, is the third dam of Green Spirit, and she is also the second dam of Peeping Fawn, the dam of Mary Inskeep. So these horses were already discussed in the Green Spirit video. The career so far, Green Spirit has had 7 races in her career, 4 wins, a second and a third. Currently 6 out of 7 in the first 3 for earnings of €298,055 racing in France. This horse was pretty decent, she's only 3. This year the horse was classic placed in the French 1,000 guineas. Last season she managed to win the Group 2 Prix Normal and the Group 3 Prix 6 Perfections, and was second in the Group 1 Prix Marcel Boussac. Arguably a better 2-year-old than a 3-year-old at this stage. The horse owned and bred by Wertheimer Effrere and trained by Christopher Head. But this horse does serve a very good purpose in this video, because it will let us move on quickly from the pedigree. What I can do is I can insert the video to Green Spirit as a card in this YouTube video, and that will allow us to move on a lot quicker than we have done on occasions. What I will do is I will insert the video to Green Spirit as a card now, and hopefully that will allow us to move on a bit now. We can take a look at the horse on the historical dam line at bloodlines.net. Unfortunately, people still have to go through the Wayback Machine over at archive.org to take a look at this dam line AF. Some sort of Cloudflare error, prevents the site from opening on its own domain. It would be a tragedy, really, I think, if this site was lost to the world. I use it quite a lot. I'm sure other people use it quite a lot as well. Hopefully, it comes back at some point in some way, shape, or form, because it would be an absolute tragedy, I think, for the racing community to lose this site. People will see that the bigger picture of our horse, Peeping Fawn, is this horse is actually on the legendary, in my view, Best in Show dam line. Best in Show foaled in 1965 and sired by Traffic Ride out of Stolen Hour. You will see that she is the third dam of Peeping Fawn herself. And when we look at Green Spirit, you will see that she is obviously the fourth dam of this horse as well. So that does definitely allow us to move forward. Family 8F, the historical dam line, all the way from Best in Show to the modern day. I mean, it's ridiculous, really. These are just the historic ones, not the current day ones. You've got plenty of historic horses on the site bloodlines.net that people have to go through, courtesy of the Wayback Machine. You'll see some top class horses there, like our Grand Seigneur, Spinning World, War of Will, Reduced Choice, plenty of fantastic horses. There's our particular section, Blush with Pride, and Peeping Fawn section. Blush with Pride won the Kentucky Oaks of 1982. And there's Peeping Fawn, the Irish Oaks winner of 2007, along with a couple of Belmont winners there as well on the line, as well of the Russian Derby winner of 2012. Very interesting dam line, one of the best, I think, this Best in Show dam line, one of my favourites, and I do like to find a horse on this site. This Group 3 winner here, Rebel Moon, well, it's impossible to say when we looked at the pedigree of the horse as well as her unbeaten record. It was impossible not to say that she deserved her own Classic Watch 26 Possibles video. And if the horse lines up in the Irish Oaks tomorrow, then I do think that there is a very good chance that this filly will end up on classicwatch26.great/site.net. But before we wrap up the video, we can watch Rebel Moon win 2 races in her 3-year-old campaign, the only 2 races she has had. So without further ado, let's close down the few tabs that we can to save on CPU, but this video not really a high CPU intensive video up to this stage. We're going to go back to the 9th of April 2026 and Gowran Park. A 3-year-old maiden race over 1 mile, 1.5 furlongs on soft ground. That was the debut for Rebel Moon. The race, like I said, on the 9th of April, where she was ridden by Mikey Sheridan on the day. Let's take a look at that race now, shall we? And then we will be able to see what we think.
They're off. Last one out was Rebel Moon and the 7-runner Irish Injured Jockeys Fillies Maiden, a little less than 1.25 miles. It is Cape Primrose and Johanna Walsh, tracked by Feel the Love and the White Cap. Together next are Chestnut Palace and Sounds Great with the final couple, the Vega Queen and Rebel Moon. Striding on by a little more than a length is Cape Primrose from Feel the Love. Johanna Walsh takes the lead in third, being followed up the far side by Sounds Great and Chestnut Palace, and then the Vega Queen and Rebel Moon. Little or no changes, with less than 7 furlongs to go. And it is Cape Primrose and Wayne Lorden, followed by Feel the Love and Chris Hayes. Third is Johanna Walsh and Declan McDonough. Contesting the fourth, Sounds Great, Shane Foley and Chestnut Palace, Colin Keane, as Rebel Moon, Joey Sheridan just relegate the Vega Queen and Shamie Heffernan to be last of the 7. On towards the halfway stage, the Irish Injured Jockeys Fillies Maiden. It's Cape Primrose by 3 parts, no more, to Feel the Love. Third is Johanna Walsh, and then Sounds Great, a definite fourth. Shifted on a length and a half in front of the 5th, Chestnut Palace, and then Rebel Moon and the Vega Queen. Running round the home turn, 3.5 furlongs to go. Cape Primrose remains at the head from Feel the Love. Tracked on the turn in by Johanna Walsh, and then Sounds Great. Squeezed along in 5th as Chestnut Palace, and then Rebel Moon and 2 lengths to the Vega Queen. They straighten with 2.5 furlongs to go. On the rail is Cape Primrose. 1 off the rail, and the White Cap is Feel the Love. Followed by Sounds Great coming into a challenging position. Squeezing through is Johanna Walsh as they race to the final furlong and a half. Cape Primrose from Johanna Walsh and Sounds Great, followed by a fading Feel the Love as they race inside the final furlong. And it's Cape Primrose on the inside from Johanna Walsh, and quickening up well is Rebel Moon on the outside of Sounds Great. Things have changed quickly, and Rebel Moon is a second for Joey Sheridan and Joseph O'Brien from Sounds Great and Johanna Walsh.
Like the commentator said, that race did change very quickly, didn't it? The complexion of the race. The commentator never even bothered mentioning Rebel Moon until the horse was in front. You know, and I thought that was a pretty good performance by Rebel Moon. I thought the horse travelled round very nicely on debut there under Mikey Sheridan. At no stage did I think the horse was flustered or under any pressure. And when they came into the straight, I thought it was clear that Rebel Moon had more in the tank than some of the other horses in that race. Let's just say that. And I thought once the jockey Mikey Sheridan pushed her out, Rebel Moon, I thought that was a pretty good performance. You know, what she beat on the day obviously remains to be seen, but she was allocated a mark of 84 on the day for that 1.5 length victory. That's all horses can do, really, is win first time out, and Rebel Moon certainly did that. I thought that was a pretty good performance. We're going to move forward now about 6 to 8 weeks to the 24th of June 2026 and the Group 3 Jana Rose Stakes held at Naas. A furlong further than what she encountered last time. 1 mile, 2.5 furlongs, and the first time she was also encountering good ground in her career. This race sponsored by the owners of the horse, don't forget, Al Shirar Racing, also the owners of Rebel Moon, and they sponsored this Group 3 Jana Rose Stakes. So whether that was a tip in itself at the time, who knows? But now we're in a position now to take a look at the Jana Rose Stakes. I will have to say that my usual racing video library, for some reason, did not have this race, the Group 3 Jana Rose Stakes. So for this race, we are using the Racing TV website. You know, this is one of the rare occasions, even though they do claim a lot of our videos as their own content. This is one of the rare occasions that we are actually using the Racing TV website for a race, because I looked for the race on my own site, on where I get my videos from, Australia, and it just wasn't there for some reason. It was an evening race. Maybe they stopped recording early. I don't know. But you do get some evening races. But we are still able to look at the Group 3 Janeiro Stakes. But like I said, the race will be how we're going to take a look at the race on the Racing TV website. So without further ado, let's take a look at the race now, shall we? And then we can see what we think.
Here's Jerry Hannon.
Right. And thereof, they leave the stalls at the mile and a quarter start. The Al Shitter Racing Irish EBF Janeiro Stakes. It's a group race. Cameo on the inside of Caught You Sleeping, followed by La Fagata. Rebel Moon won from last, and the back marker is Della Pace. Making the first turn, it's Cameo and Wayne Lorden. You're showing up in front of Caught You Sleeping and Ben Cohen. Third is La Fagata and Chris Hayes. 2.5 lengths to Rebel Moon and Dylan Brown McMonigal, and fifth of the five is Della Pace and Billy Lee. Less than a mile to go. No changes. It's Cameo by 3 parts to Caught You Sleeping. 2 lengths in front of La Fagata in third. Now, a good 3 lengths to Rebel Moon, and at the rear is Della Pace. Nicely spread out. It's Cameo maintaining a lead of less than a length over Caught You Sleeping. 2.5 cleared of La Fagata. 4 lengths to Rebel Moon. The back marker by 3 is Della Pace. Continuing on to the halfway stage, the Al Shitter Racing EBF Janeiro Stakes. Still not a single change in the order of running. Cameo tracked by Caught You Sleeping, La Fagata, Rebel Moon, and Della Pace. Running round the home turn with less than 4 furlongs to go. Cameo by under a length to Caught You Sleeping. Pushed along in third place now is La Fagata. Nudged after them in fourth is Rebel Moon. Still at the rear as they straighten for the final 3 furlongs is Della Pace. Cameo, Caught You Sleeping, now pushed along in second, then Rebel Moon, taking up third from La Fagata and Della Pace as they arrive at the 2. Cameo, 1 from the rail is Caught You Sleeping, 2 from the rail into a challenging position is Rebel Moon, followed by Della Pace and La Fagata. Caught You Sleeping and Rebel Moon have gone by Cameo, 200 yards to go, nothing in it here. Rebel Moon on the outside of Caught You Sleeping. They're having a great ding-dong. They're going to the line. Rebel Moon! Rebel Moon just on the near side from Caught You Sleeping as Rebel Moon goes from winning a maiden to Group 3 and the sponsors, Janeiro Stakes.
Again.
A cracking finish to our feature, and it's gone the way of the really exciting Rebel Moon. She's 2 from 2 and a big step up for winning that maiden. That's worked out extremely well. Joanna Walsh, of course, finished.
Very good performance, I thought that was, by Rebel Moon on the day. And don't forget that race courtesy of the Racing TV website, like the commentator said, a proper ding-dong finish there to the Group 3 Janeiro Stakes, wasn't there? Again, I thought Rebel Moon was again, she seems a horse that likes to take her time in the early stages of the race, doesn't she? She was under no rush in the early stages, again held up towards the back of the 5-runner field by jockey Dylan Brown McMonigal. But as the race progressed, she again went round, I thought, very well indeed. And then entering the straight, the jockey decided to bring her into the race and into the closing 2 or 3 stages, 2 or 3 furlongs of the race. The first 2 went on from the horse that won the Lingfield Oaks trial in the UK, the Aidan O'Brien trained Cameo. They fought out the finish nicely there, didn't they? Caught You Sleeping and Rebel Moon. But it was Dylan Brown McMonigal who forced Rebel Moon's head in front in the shadow of the post to take her record to 2 wins from 2 races when she landed the Group 3 Janeiro Stakes at the Curragh. This horse, like I said, has done absolutely nothing wrong in the form. She's entered in the Irish Oaks tomorrow at 4:35, where she again is due to be ridden by Mikey Sheridan. Dylan Brown McMonigal will be on the UK Oaks winner Thundering On, the horse we looked at yesterday. But hopefully we've got a good deputy. We saw Mikey Sheridan win a pattern race on Thundering On yesterday, the Salsabill. We watched him win on this horse as well, the maiden. That was a good ride, I thought, by Dylan Brown McMonagle. Just got caught you sleeping on the line to win by a neck. 106, a fair way to go on Racing Post ratings after only 2 starts. This horse, I do think, has to improve a little bit on the form. But we've seen from the pedigree, this horse, I do think, Rebel Moon, is a very well-bred horse. And I do think, without any shadow of a doubt, she believes she deserves her own video as a Classic Watch 26 possible, ahead of a possible place on classicwatch26.great/site.net, should she line up in the Irish Oaks tomorrow. Right, I think I can think about leaving this video here now. Thank you very much to everybody who's taken the time to sit and watch it with me. I hope you all enjoyed it. What I can offer you at the end of the video is an opportunity to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you will not miss any of my YouTube content moving forward. If you like to watch my horse racing videos and not miss any, there is also a way you can do some work either in your YouTube app or on the desktop notifications on the YouTube website to enable YouTube to send you a notification every time I upload a video. You have to click a few bells and pick a yes or no on a few things, but a couple of people have asked me how to do it in the past. I've told them, and I can confirm that it does work. Every time they log in, they are getting the YouTube video notifications, and then it's just a matter of them choosing which ones they want to watch and which ones they don't want to watch. So that is one thing I can offer you at the end of this video. I can also offer you an opportunity to learn about more Classic Watch 26 horses by sharing the Classic Watch 26 Possibles YouTube playlist as well. At the end of this video, if this horse has just whet your appetite really to look at more of my videos and more of my horses, then feel free to go through the Classic Watch 26 Possibles playlist that will be at the end of this video. Also, there are plenty of horses on there. I think we're now approaching around 70 videos in that playlist, all from all horses from all around the world. But yeah, I think I can think about leaving this video here now. I hope you've all had a fantastic week, and I hope you all have a fantastic upcoming weekend as well. Enjoy the weekend if you can, doing whatever you're doing. Make sure it's as enjoyable as possible. Look after yourselves and your loved ones, everybody. Take care of yourselves and each other. And I hope to be back at some point on some platform, either here on YouTube or over at my Patreon, Newman Racing. Don't forget to check the Patreon out, Newman Racing. Head over there as well. You never know. There might be some stuff on there for you. But I hope to be back at some point, like I said, either on YouTube or on Patreon with some more content at some point about something. But for now, I will say goodbye. Take care, everybody. Look after yourselves, and I'll be back soon, hopefully. Goodbye.